Brother Karat is out here with the GMS Atlanta camp. We'll start off by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rukakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well, and peace and safety to the Akim that's around the four corners of the world pushing out this truth, giving our diligence and putting our lives on the line to do so. I'm back again with another lesson going in on the topic of basically how the Lord, deals and tries and put his men through tough situations to prove them, man. To prove how tough um of skin you have, and are you going to turn away from pushing His word just because certain things is happening in your life which that you don't want to happen, you know, because we all know that according to Sirach the second chapter, once we come into this thing, the Lord is going to try us, man. He's going to put us in situations where, you have to lean on Him, you know. And I'm just going to basically just start off with this precept in Psalm chapter 26, verse 2. It says, "Examine me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart." And this is a prayer, that we all can send up, and ask the Lord to try us, man. Because ultimately, when we're put in tough situations, man, it's just making us stronger. It's just making us, you know, being able to endure, in tough situations, man. No matter whether it's, a difficult weather, car troubles, infirmities, sickness, a death of a family member, you know. The Lord tries us in all types of situations, but at the end of the day, He's hardening us, man. You know, He's making you fit for the battle, so to speak. So it's good to ask the Lord to examine you, man, and build you up. So you can be able to withstand these troubling times, man. You know, we will be able to go through these situations, and it'll be a breeze, so to speak, man. Because you already been enduring. You already been fighting. So once you become familiar, you know, with certain situations, it's like you can rub it off easier, man. It doesn't affect you as if you're not as if you haven't dealt with it before, man. Because once you first off start dealing, and dealing with certain situations is tough, man. It's real tough. But once you've say you caught flat tire 10, 11 times, you can change that tire in 5 minutes, man. Because you know the routine, man. You know how to unscrew the lug nuts and pop up the car with a jack. So it becomes familiar. And I'm gonna get another scripture. This is Hebrews 11, and I'm gonna just get to the point. It says, Hebrews 11, I'll start at 39. It says, "And all these, having attained a good report through faith, received not the promise." Which, when you read up, in this chapter, is speaking of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Moses, Noah. How through faith, they endured. And we all, have to look at those as prime example. Look at those great men as prime examples, man. Because they knew that, or some knew that, they wouldn't receive the promise back then, but they still kept fighting. They still kept pushing and did as the Lord commanded them. You know, didn't turn their back. They didn't turn their back on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You know, it says verse 40, "The Most High having provided some better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect." So the Lord has promised us, the men who keep His commandments, and abide and not turn his back on Him, you know. He's promised us that crown of salvation, man. You know, He's promised us that golden ticket. So us having that knowledge and wisdom of that alone should be able, you know, enough for you to be able to fight without even having the thought of turning around and going back into the world, man. Because the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, speak about those who came into the truth. It's in Galatians. Those who came into the truth, and turned their back, it's basically a slavery, man. You're no good, man. You know, those of you who came into the truth and made haste in the time of trouble, man. You know, the Lord hates those kind of men, man. For Him to even bring you into the truth, man. You know, it was better. It was better if you didn't even obtain get a piece of the truth before, man. You was better off just being left in the world. You know, you was better off being blind to the fact of what's going on, man, than turning your back on them. You know, so at the end of the day, man, just going back on topic, you know, our forefathers are great examples of how we should be, man. How we're supposed to leading by example. You know, showing brothers that's in the future coming to the camps on how not how or how to be a good soldier, man. You know, being unmovable, man. Just like how the apostles and elders are our great examples, also, man. You know, these are things that we have to take into consideration. You know, it's 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse, I believe it was 9. Yep, verse 9. It says, "And He said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." You know, so us being, the Lord takes you through real low moments in the truth, man. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes things aren't that bad at the moment. But the Lord will bring you low, real low, man. But that's how you become strong, man. It said, "For my strength is made perfect in weakness," man. You know. So when you're at a real weak moment, count it as joy, man. Keep fighting, as it says in James the first chapter. You know, count it as joy. You know, the Lord is showing you that He's dealing with you and that He's hardening you. But to become a better man. You know, you don't want to just be out here finished in the world for no reason. Finished and you still go be a part of the 2/3. Nah, man, we in this thing fighting to be a part of that number, man. You know, it says, I'll read it again. It says, "And He said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glorify my infirmities, that the power of the Mashiach may rest upon me." So we gotta glorify in these things, man. You know, brothers is out here and got all type of sicknesses. Cancers, diabetes. Have to take all kind of natural herbs. And still out here and still out on the highways and byways pushing every week, man. You know, so those brothers, man, are great examples of how to take things these weak moments gladly, man. You know, it's verse 10. It says, "Therefore I take pleasures in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress for Yahweh's sake," man. These are the things that we owe to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. The Lord Yahweh put His life on the line for us, man. We can't even Some men can't even go through having a flat tire without turning their back on the Lord, man. You know, the Lord put His life on the line, man. You know, it says, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." You know, being in a low moment when you in this truth, man, is a good sign, man. You know, and we actually had 2/3 niggas. You know, excuse me for my language. You know, but we had 2/3 monkeys in the truth who turned their back on the Lord because they had a flat tire or they couldn't or they ain't have $5 to eat, man, for one day. You know, scripture say, "For when I'm weak, then I am strong," man. Show you that the Lord is dealing with you, man. You know,